Hey everyone, I am heading out to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This weekend is the World Championship Snowmobile Hillclimb. I'm going out for that. I'm also going out to ride for a couple days. So I'm driving out here. I got my 858 in the bed of the truck with me, and rest of my family's gonna meet me here. Some of them are flying. Andrew and Lexi are driving up from Utah, so should be a good action-packed long weekend. I'm going over Togwotee Pass right now, and as you can see, they got plenty of snow. This is where I plan on riding. I'm now coming into Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Straight ahead is Snow King Mountain, and that's where the hill climb will be taking place this weekend. And the famous Cowboy Bar. Here's home for the next several nights. And I made it here to our cabin at the Cowboy Village Resort. I'm here tonight by myself. Everyone else is coming in tomorrow. But I got moved in the cabin here, got everything stocked up. Let's do a little tour before everybody gets here. I did go to the store and I got some water. Got my wife her Diet Coke. Got some snacks there. Got my drone batteries charging in case I need those. And I have my gear bag over here. Got my avalanche bag charging. But look at this place. Pretty nice log cabin here. As you can see, got a little kitchenette here. And go back here in the bedroom. We got the 2-bedroom one. So we got the luggage here. And quick tour of the bathroom. Yeah, I should have done this before I got a shower, but oh well. Anyways, pretty nice place. We've been staying here the last several years. And my boys are coming in as well. They're going to have some separate cabins here. So my wife and my daughter and I will stay on this one. And we'll all be neighbors and just looking for a good time here. But I'm excited to ride. There's a lot of snow up on top of the pass. Out for my morning walk. I generally walk 2 to 2.5 miles every single morning right after I wake up. While I was out for my morning walk, they were cleaning the snow off the streets, pushing everything into the center here, making a windrow or a swath of snow for the snowblower to come and load it into the dump truck. Hopefully I can find that operation going on before I leave here this week. And of course, Bubba's for breakfast. All right, guys, I made it up here to Togwotee. Got the sled unloaded. Met up with a guy here from New Jersey. We're gonna ride today, so I won't be riding alone, so it should be in for a good day. It was snowing on my way up here, but it quit snowing, so see the sun peeking through over there, so let's hope for the best. Generally, when I come out here for the hill climb, I'm riding with my son, Andrew, who lives in Utah. However, about 5 weeks ago, he broke his collarbone when he was snowmobiling and had to have a plate put in, so he is not able to ride. He will be up here for the hill climb, so I'll get to hang out with him there at the hill climb, but I will not be riding with him the next couple of days for that reason. We wish Andrew a speedy recovery. He does have the plate put in with 7 screws, and he should be recovered if the mountain snow continues. He should still be able to get some spring riding in April or May down in Utah. The trail out of the parking lot here goes down, and then you can go under the highway here, so you don't have to cross the busy highway. And then the trail splits right here. We're coming up on the Togwotee Lodge right here. You can see to the left, and buzz by that real quick. Maybe I'll get some footage of that later on. There is a lot of trucks and trailers and a lot of snowmobiles there. Of course, you can see the groomers there as well. Sean, the fellow that I'm riding with from New Jersey, and we checked our avalanche beacons back in the parking lot. They were working, but most trailheads do have a beacon check right here to see if you're beeping. That should light up green when it detects your beacon. This one did not light up, however, when I did pull my beacon out of my vest, it did light up. the riding was pretty good. I only got to ride a couple hours, but I'm now heading to the Jackson Hole Airport to pick up my wife and daughter. My oldest son and daughter-in-law are flying in, and then my son and daughter-in-law live in Utah, and granddaughter will be up, so they're driving up, of course. But yeah, pick them up, and then I'll be back up here at Togwotee to ride again tomorrow, and hill climb Saturday and Sunday. I might pick up the hill climb a little bit this afternoon. They're running the vintage class here. I think that'd be pretty cool to see. I talked to a guy last night in a restaurant and said that's actually the best class. So I've never seen the vintage, so maybe I'll end up there. If I do, you'll see it here in the video. Moose sighting. Yeah, coming into the airport here. I just seen a plane take off, but this is not your normal everyday airport. It's not real big, but pretty cool coming in here. I've actually never flown into here. I've picked family members up, but yeah, like I said, never actually flew into this airport. Jackson Hole Airport. Where to park? Looks like parking is this way. And they made it. Once back in town, we went to Snake River Brewing for lunch, got the street tacos here. Then we went to the hill climb for a little bit. The vintage was already over when we got here, but I did get to take in a little bit here down at the bottom.
Brought to you by Mackey Racing, TTI Lodging, Minnesotan here, 22 years old on an Arctic Cat.
Then in the evening, we went back uptown there to get dinner.
What a view. Little cowboy bar over there.
And the next morning on my walk, I caught back up to the snow removal crew, so hopefully I can find the snowblower this morning. And I'm back for day number 2. Looks like they got a little bit of fresh snow overnight, so should be in for a good day. I'll be riding with 2 other guys today. So the guy I rode with yesterday that was in the parking lot, I'm riding with him. There was another guy in the parking lot from Colorado here with his snowmobile, so he's going to join us. So there'll be 3 of us today for part of the day. Hopefully I get some good footage, but I am here to ride and not necessarily record. But I'm going to be up here all day, so should be able to come up with hopefully something good. over?
Yeah. It does. Did he say he's got a turbo on that one? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Sean, did you holler at me on the radio? I went down to the bottom, but I'm about halfway back up now.
I'm gonna hop in this tree section up here.
Okay, I'm up here in a little meadow, kind of between the trees and the bottom and the top there.
Are you stuck?
Oh no, I'm good. I figured I'd get some footage where you guys were. So I was just playing around. So yeah, got stuck pretty good.
Up in the tree, yeah.
Yeah.
Those trees will suck you in.
Yeah. Well, I'm committed now. Oh yeah.
That was definitely steeper than what the camera showed.
He's not committed at all. Right? He's scared right now. Perfect. Yeah, I guess I'll head back.
Guys I was riding with had to stop for the day. I still had several hours here where I could ride, so I'm not going to venture very far off the trail, just go out and do a little sightseeing and take in the sights, hopefully have a little fun. There is a lot of people up here riding today, but there's so much territory to cover, you just very seldom see other snowmobilers out here. Let's go check out this old log cabin. I've rode up here in the Togwotee Pass area several times over the last few years, so I'm somewhat familiar with the area. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on it, but somewhat familiar. Now, a lot of people back home ask me about coming out west here, because a lot of people back home are trail riders up in Michigan, and there is very nice trails out here. I mean, you can definitely come out here with your trail sled, stick on the trail, get along. Trails are nice and wide, always have a lot of snow, and the scenery is outstanding. And since I generally come out west a couple times each winter, that is why I ride the Arctic Cat Riot, which is a crossover sled. So it does have the mountain skis up front, the wider ski, 146-inch track with 1.75-inch lugs. It's good on the trails. If I want to ride it back in Michigan on the trails, I can get along, versus the 3-inch paddles on a mountain sled. And if I want to get off the trail out here, I can generally get about everywhere I need to go or want to go. And when I do come out here, if it's just a complete all-out powder day that I can't ride this, my son Andrew has two 165s with 3-inch paddles, so I just end up riding his other mountain sled. And I'm going to hop back on the trail here. We'll go out and do some sightseeing. Spin around here and take a look at the mountain behind me.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's not too bad, but the view's pretty.
And just like that, gave her a complete roll and it's back on its feet. How many of you seen the movie Daddy's Home 2, where they're out in the woods and they go to cut down a Christmas tree? They end up cutting down a cell phone tower that looked like a pine tree. Well, that's what I'm looking at right there. So between the movie and now, it's the only time I've ever seen such a thing. That's about going to do it for today's ride, so I will take a spin around the parking lot here at the Togwotee Mountain Lodge. I've never actually stayed here, but you can stay here. You can rent snowmobiles. They got food, so you can just snowmobile right from your hotel or your lodge right here out to the backcountry for a good time. There's also a gas station here, and right now I'd say this is about 45-50 miles from Jackson Hole, where we're staying at. Several years coming to hill climb, we always end up on Friday nights going to the Merry Piglets, which is a Mexican restaurant that we all think has pretty good food. Good to have the entire gang back together here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This is what I had, and it was delish. For once, I actually walked out of a Mexican restaurant where I didn't eat too many chips and felt too full. Walked out of here feeling pretty good. We walked back to our cabin, and little granddaughter got her steps in for the evening as well.
Hey little miniature.
Saturday morning, we were going to go out on a wildlife exploration like we generally do, but stopped at DOG. This place has some awesome breakfast burritos. DOG stands for Down on Glenwood, so you know where to find them. Then over to Cowboy Coffee Company it was. Then we headed over to the elk refuge here, and this is where the elk come down and spend the winter. Generally, they got it fenced off so they cannot get into the town itself, but there is a lot of elk down here, and they feed them some hay. They also feed them some mineral or pellets here. That's what they just did right here. I have the tractor coming up. Then if you go up a little farther, there's generally a lot of bighorn sheep up here, as you can see. Since it was snowing and blowing, we didn't go as far as we usually do, but generally see a lot of moose out in this part of the country as well. And then here is the tractor that was out feeding the elk their mineral or their pellets or whatever.
Brah. Yeah, it's a nice old snowmobile you got there, isn't it?
Then about lunchtime, Andrew and I headed over to the hill climb. On Saturday, we just stayed down below here at the bottom, and then Sunday we'll go up to the top. And this sled deck that can haul 3 snowmobiles at a time was definitely worth checking out.
Motorsports loading coach and trailers. Polaris engineered lubricants, Arctic Cat graphics, all your racing products.
#1 on their Italian sausages. If you have not been down and ate after the elk, and you have been, and they do good.
Sunday morning we headed up to the top here. We took the lift up. Normally when you're riding the lift up here, you'll see 2 or 3 sleds make a run from bottom to the top. And you can buy a one-way round trip, or you can buy several passes, ride this up and down pretty much all day if you wanted to, and just watch the hill climb from there, which is actually a really good view of it. It's all about timing.
He's always sitting down. Yeah, just wheelie up that. It looks like it's broken down a little bit. Just gotta get a clean line through that.
Uh-oh. There she goes. Pretty much tight 26, huh? Red?
Yeah.
And try to just send it.
Keep her. But it does want to throw you down.
It wants to throw you right.
Yeah. But then once you get over here, you have traction here and there.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
and there.
Grab and grab that. That's the hero level stuff right there, folks.
She's out.
There should be floating up with commotion.
Well, good luck today.
Thank you. Thanks.
Look.
Randy and Tom FX Artifact Woods Bunkers D&D. North Star, Woody's Tempest Optics. Simplot, ZRP. Farm Indiana Mare.
some good rocks in there like that.
I mean, technically, we all signed the waiver, though.
Yeah.
Right? Well,
Dude, you're sore after that for sure.
Well, you definitely got arm pump, that's for sure.
I heard what could only be described as the sound of somebody getting after it, giving it the old brah, brah, brah. Oh, dude. Heck yeah. Oh, he took the flag down. Take me to the top. Getting down to the end. And the hill climb's all over, headed back to the cabin. Got some deer hanging around here, which is not so uncommon. Sometimes you'll see moose down here as well in the city limits. Anyways, we're going to walk uptown, get dinner. Not sure where we're going yet. We'll just see how busy places are, and then this will be our last night here. We'll get ready to head out in the morning. What do you say, Muley? We've never been here before, so Teton Pizza it is. Monday morning, time to head home, get one more DOG burrito before I hit the road. It's about 1,600 miles from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to home, so we just do it in 2 days. And when you come down here near Hoback Junction, there's generally a herd of elk down here. And if you hit this right, they are usually bedded down or just crossing the road as you see here.
There's a...
Here is some bonus footage for this video. I actually shot this last year coming out here, and I never got around to making the video of the hill climb on last year's visit. Anyways, here in just outside of Dubois, Wyoming, which is on the east side of Togwotee, is the National Museum of Military Vehicles. If anybody is ever over in this part of the world, definitely need to check this place out. I went inside. It was just unbelievable. It goes through all the wars and everything. And I'm going to walk around with my camera, and we're going to go through this place. I'm not going to be able to show you everything, but I'm going to show you quite a bit. Again, this place was just unbelievable. Again, anybody watching this video, I hope you enjoy this part. I'm going to do my best I can here with my DJI Osmo camera on the gimbal to get as much footage of this place and all the vehicles, all the weapons, and everything this place has to offer. I'm probably walking around a bit too fast for the video, so at any point, I guess if you see something you're interested in, you can always stop it and check it out that way. And another nice thing, if you're a veteran, you get in for free.
against the Viet Cong rebels. They were used for observation, for sweeping the enemy, and for penetrating jungle areas.
This place is really neat, and if you're ever close, like I said before, definitely want to stop and check this place out. Now, back to our 2025 trip, just driving across Wyoming here. So Wyoming, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and then into Ohio.
For the vlog.
Anybody watching, do you know where this is? Hint, I'm on Interstate 80. And we made it back from Wyoming. It was a great trip. No weather, really going out. I hit a little bit in South Dakota on the way out there, but coming back, no weather issues at all other than wind, high wind warnings, but that's pretty normal when you start getting closer to Cheyenne. And it took 2 days, but anyways, overall great trip. Had fun snowmobiling, had fun at the hill climb, had fun spending all that time with my entire family, so that's always good. And anyways, you guys know the drill. Feel free to go down there, hit that like button, leave a comment. If you're new to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button and check back often. I'm always filming, editing, uploading new content to my YouTube channel. I know it was a long video, so if you hung in there for the whole thing, I congratulate you for that, but I'd rather do it that way instead of trying to break something up into 2 or 3 different videos. That's just the way I do it. I got plenty of content as it is. And, you know, farming season is going to kick off here in another week or 2, depending what our weather does here in Ohio and through the Midwest. So I'll have fresh farming content coming real soon. And, you know, you can also follow me along on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Farmhand Mike. As always, thank you for watching and supporting my YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next video.